For the final time today, welcome to Birmingham Moseley Rugby Club for the Elite National Touch Series 2018, and it is the Elite Cup final. The Bareback Riders up against the Cambridge Hornets, and we're really looking forward to this one. Jonathan Bell alongside Mel Day once again, really clocking up the commentary duties today. And as we look to this final, how do we weigh up the two teams? Bareback Riders the favourites, would you say?
Yeah, considering the last time the two teams met, I believe, was in the first round of the NTS, and where I think BBR got up 11-0 from memory. I think it's safe to say that BBR are considered hot favourites. Putting the hot into hot favourites, actually.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how the Cambridge Hornets get on. We're waiting, of course, for the start from the central timer, shall we say, before the officials on the pitch now can blow the whistle. But this is the only game going on. All the other pitches have now finished. In fact, Mel, you've just come from a game yourself on field 2 in the Premiership Cup final. We'll touch on that in a few moments' time as we get underway with the Elite Cup final now, and it's the Bareback Riders in the red and black going from left to right in this first period of 20, and as ever really trying to inject the pace right at the start, and doing so as well.
Louis, their impact player, having an impact straight away. Great score there. I think the Cambridge defence retreated a little bit behind this line, and it made the opening on the quickie for Louis. He is an impact player, eh? I spoke to him before the game and he was sounding a little bit cocky, so I think they're feeling pretty confident. Now, I was talking to Ben Powell of Cambridge before this match, and the Cambridge team are a developing team. I think they've got 8 players under the age of 18, so they're really bringing some good young players through, so this is a big occasion for them today. And incredible that they got through the final as well.
And it's easy to say this as well, but there's no reason for Cambridge to feel overall by this occasion, even though it may be new territory for them, because they've earned the right to be here.
Yeah, absolutely, and look at that. A great score straight up from Cambridge, and a great response to that opening score by BBR. So they've run a backdoor play, and it looks like he's, just stepped his player.
Oliver Maynard with the score, cancelling out Louis Trey's earlier point, which came after 15 seconds, and I think that's the quickest we've seen, certainly on this pitch today. Ideal start from BBR, but Cambridge quickly back them, and I think Cambridge come into expecting a tirade of pressure from BBR, so no surprise that they did get the early point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to be focusing on really tight D going into this game after speaking with Ben. And here you see a score on the outside from the BBR winger. Here's Louis again, passing out, and Zoe Eaton on that far wing. She's got great hands. Great score from her. 3 scores. We've got a score every 0.75 of a minute, if my maths is right. I am an accountant, so I should get that right.
Not quite sure what 0.75 of a minute actually is, but I'll leave that to you to work out.
45 seconds.
There we go. I left school a while ago. So, first play that we've had in this game that's not yielded a score there as Cambridge break down and BBR back up again.
And I think in terms of the opening few minutes, I think Cambridge can take a lot of confidence into it. So they're playing really well, and they do have a really experienced team. You can see their female link, Tamara Slater. She's a really experienced player. I think she's playing senior mixed at Euros this year. So great to see her on the field telling the blokes what to do. Louis, great long ball. Look at that. Smooth as peanut butter. The non-crunchy peanut butter, obviously.
That is a tremendous switch, isn't it? Look at the swirl on that pass there, and a real zip in towards Zoe Eaton. And it would have been rude of her to fumble that catch. He deserved a fantastic claim and touchdown as well, and that's what it got, 3-1.
And we should give a shout out to the referees, actually. So the referees today have been appointed based on their performance over the previous NTSs. We've got Bronwyn Wake in the middle, the drop bear research specialist. Roger Neighbours on the far side. And here BBR, it's Mexicans now, so they're in their 5, so BBR have to keep on moving up off the line. Great ball from the Cambridge mid.
Ready.
And here at BBR coming off their line now. BBR defence has been so strong today that I think that's going to be the challenge for Cambridge, being able to convert the field position into some touchdowns.
Well, there aren't many teams quicker at retreating, but sometimes the back door is left open. It was there, and Cambridge have managed to sneak it in. Samuel Misson's got it. I say back door left open is a slightly better metaphor than the peanut butter one, but we'll have that argument another day. But great point for Cambridge to half the arrears, 3-2 now.
No one's coming, Cambridge. Let's go, 2!
Now, initially I was thinking it was a shame that London Galaxy were on an opposite side of the draw to BBR in terms of how the finals have shaped up, but I think Cambridge are really bringing it this game. But Louis, he's the difference, isn't he? He's involved with everything on the field at the moment.
Well, he said he was confident before the game. Surprise, really. Look at that.
Now, he told me he was 25. I've got doubts. I think he's 17. I think.
That's one heck of a claim to be 17 and claiming you're 25.
Yeah, I wanted to believe him.
She's right.
All right, Cambridge on the attack again.
Yeah, we look at that. Let's
Looks like Ben Powell getting for there by the half.
Talk.
Okay, they're moving up off their line. Cambridge looking for a strike dunk here. Long ball.
Yes!
And it looks like the referee has called the BBR players short. And he's paying advantage. So great score from Cambridge. We got a game.
We absolutely have. Very much to and fro. BBR still holding the slim advantage of a single point.
15 now.
And yeah, you can see the touch there, but it was from a player who had already been penalised, and yeah, Mark Knight, the guilty party in that respect, so his touch invisible for the referee because the advantage was being played.
Now, you've seen BBR play every game today, haven't you, on field 1?
Pretty much so, yep.
And the closest margin, I think, at this stage of the game, I think at this stage BBR start to extend their lead, so it'll be interesting to see what Cambridge can do here. As BBR's got.
Yeah, 5-3, and well, it's difficult, isn't it, to get 2 unanswered points against BBR. They just need Louis Trace to find an injury, I think.
What a great long ball. And we've said it so many times about the BBR team that their players in the middle look super, super impressive, but their wingers are so solid, and the number of scores that are made by those wingers working hard on the outside is extraordinary. They've got great hands, those guys.
Well, that was a rare handling error from Cambridge, who may be losing this game, but it's not really for any fault of their own. That play was. And usually you can expect to be punished. Bareback riders, one thing we mention a lot, not just the technical ability, it's the fitness as well. And at the end of a long day like this, we don't expect them to tire. The question will be whether Cambridge have got that stamina or not. And they're flailing a little bit, claiming a touch. And the referee complying as well. Final touch now.
Oh, it's great to see a vintage Bareback rider jersey on that far wing. Don't think we saw that classic in the last game. Bareback rider jersey circa 2003.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a different strip. I think they had an imposter on the pitch.
Right, Marina on the wing making that touch. Ali Hogg pressing the defence. Ali Hogg with the best dabs in touch.
Cambridge are not afraid to attack with pace. So many teams face up the Bareback riders at that point, don't they? And stop. And then they lose momentum completely.
Yeah.
But Cambridge have not done that.
And they saw the hate they had the BB Bareback riders going backwards off their line, running backwards, so that's where they're really going to attack them. 5-3, Cambridge are really in this actually. Could see a crowd still here. A lot of people got on the frothies pretty early today. Rumour has it hot custard were pretty plastered for their last game.
I've heard stories about hot custard. I won't go any further into that. Revel, has he got the score? Yes.
Yeah, and you can see Roger calling deviation. So where the defender makes this touch, they've got to retreat in a consistent manner. And you can see they were kind of going one way and then the other. So the referees called advantage for the deviation and given the score. Great score by Ryan. It's going to give us a flavour for the Men's Open come Euros with a few Men's Open representatives in this BBR team.
Let's keep it up, let's keep it positive in the box. Yes!
Great touch there by the BBR winger, Zoe. Zoe Eaton, she's having an absolute pearler of a game. I think she scored 2 or 3 already, made some great shots in D.
Yeah, Shet's come quite far inside then as well, and she's on the cover again. She won't be needed on that occasion.
And that time Gareth Revel with the great shot. Look at the big guy driving the ball up. Okay, now coming on from their sub box now, BBR taking the touch. Ali Hogg driving the ball in. You can see the Cambridge guys retreating backwards. He's tried to make the diving touch there, but they've just got the ball in. I think that might have been Ryan with the touchdown there. Cambridge were in all sorts on that last touch. Great set of hands here from diving defence, desperate defence. Cambridge, that's unlucky.
Yeah, game's starting to slip away from them now. You said a few moments ago, Mel, that it does get to this point in the game where bareback riders start to really show the dominance.
Yeah, and you can see their conversion rate. We're 11 minutes into the game and there have been 10 scores, 7 by BBR, so it's quite rare that they make it to the opposition touchdown line and don't score.
Cambridge score there. And more than halfway now to getting back in the game, but it's still a very difficult ask. 8 minutes left of the first half.
So rumour has it that the commentary van will be making its way to back to Nottingham come Euros. Are these rumours true?
Well, it's not for me to confirm on air. I personally, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and find out.
Tell you what, I think everyone following on the live stream would love a bit of live action commentary come Euros.
Are you putting yourself forward for that, Mel?
Oh,
This your audition?
Oh, I've been auditioning for a long time, but now I'm refereeing Euros. I prefer a whistle in my mouth rather than a microphone.
That is where we move on after that score for the bareback riders.
Right guys, when I'm going back out, I'm going to take the dump from me, okay?
And finals day. Finals day, it's been an absolute great day for touch. Great weather conditions. Oh, great to see Cambridge go in. You know what, these young guys that they've got, what I say, eight players under the age of 18, the one thing that they have going for them is speed, and they're making these opportunities happen across the field.
Nice guys.
And they're playing against players that have decades of experience on them. Gareth Revel alone to be playing for longer than possibly the whole Cambridge team. So to be up against that kind of experience in this kind of setting, NTS finals day, it's really testament to the development program that they've got happening at Cambridge.
I think he's let that slip by Louis Trades. That's a rare error.
He's not happy with himself, Louis. He's got high standards for himself. Right, Cambridge driving towards their box here. Vicky Franks taking the touch. Tamara Slater off the ground. They need to initiate those touches and get some momentum coming out. Now these are great yards from Cambridge from their sub-box.
It's very brave and bold, isn't it? No fear at all. And it's a penalty their way.
Yep, penalty for the offside. They've caught BBR backtracking. So they've got 6 again on the line. We'll see whether we can convert here. Tell you what, if they can score here, it's going to start to make a bit of a game out of it.
You can in excessive push, you could argue.
We can hear the crowd outside from the van making some noise. Some solid touches coming in there from the BBR team, and they're disrupting the roll ball with a couple of these touches, so good call from the referee. Tamara Slater, she's having a great game. Oh, the foot race is on.
And it'll be won by Kruger.
That's unlucky, Cambridge. It's amazing when a game comes down to that and they get a repeat set on the line. It's the difference between getting to 8-6 and then just an unfortunate intercept. Yeah, pretty good for BBR, 9-6.
That was Ben Powell on the retreat there, trying, nearly tripping himself up, and I think that's when he thought, right, I should give this one up. He was officiating in the previous game. In fact, no, it was the Championship Plate final a couple of matches ago, so not much of a rest for him between then and now.
Yep, Ben Powell comes from Ballina in New South Wales, Australia, the second most famous sporting personality behind Kerry Saxby Jr., the famous fast walker from the region. Fun fact.
Number 75.
Okay, BBR have got to keep on moving up off their line here. Okay, he's gone from half. Great ball. And he's got on the outside of Miriam there, who's playing at link, running a great line. Great long ball from Cambridge here. Look at that. Literally fingertips away from Miriam.
It's one of the best points of the game, that. Real pinpoint stuff.
Such a high-scoring game. We're still at close to 1 touchdown a minute here in Nottingham.
Nearly, Birmingham.
Birmingham. Oh, sorry.
They all sound the same, don't they?
And Ali Hogg, regular MVP recipient, once again demonstrating why here the number 4. Number 4 happens to be my lucky number. Fun fact. Great score. Birmingham Moseley Rugby Club. How could I forget?
Yeah, the clue's at the top of the screen for you there, just in case you forget, Mel.
Oh, it's just because I've been to Nottingham 16 times this year for touch that I keep forgetting.
You're always there.
Recurring dreams of being in Nottingham. No, Birmingham's turned it on for us today. It's been great weather out here. Really good standard of field on field 1, so I feel lucky to be here.
You can see the games have certainly finished on the AstroTurf pitches, top of the screen. As it's all about this final now. Here goes Powell. The option, but it was fumbled and wasn't the most efficient corner shot, I'd say, from BBR there, but got away with it.
Yep, they looked a bit exposed in their defence there, and Ballina's second brightest sporting genius taking advantage of it.
Well, what a high-scoring first half we have been treated to here in this final. We hope that the pace and intensity of it is kept up in the second. Cambridge still have quite a task to turn it around, but to keep taking their chances. And
great cut-out ball from Louis. And 6 touches there. And, I mean, the high-scoring game, obviously some credit has to go to the players for creating the scores and making the touchdowns, but it's also about the refereeing. You can see there's a really clear 5 metres, so plenty of space for both teams to attack. So great refereeing so far from the 3 people out there.
Say as well with the plays, there's been very little mistakes, which of course is the reason why they're in this final in the first place, but to keep that standard up going into a final as well. Great switch.
Oh, fabulous score on the outside. Vicky Franks in the red visor. Regular England representative herself, and you can see why. That looks like Samuel Misson with the assist, and then out there to Vicky. What a great score.
And the winger chasing shadows there. Spinning plates really, didn't quite know which way to go to. 10-7.
Considering the last time these teams met and the score was 11-0, I think Cambridge will take a lot of confidence into the second half. They've definitely outdone themselves from the start of the season.
Certainly will. And the thing is, when Louis Troyes plays those balls, there's nothing that Cambridge can do apart from hold their breath and hope that it's not good enough to find the winger on the far side. That time it wasn't, but most of the time it has been.
BBL have such a great attack in close and around the middle that you've really got to squeeze tight. So normally the wingers do have to leave their outsides unmarked and just have to try and make that chase out. But 10-7. I think it's an absolute cracking game for the final so far.
It absolutely is, and there's 20 more minutes of it to come as well. We'll be back with those minutes just a very short while.
I think the quality this year and the level of skill that the ladies have got, just because of the number of games that they've played and that exposure that them Permix players got, has just expanded the number of players that I've got to pick from, and it's been a really competitive environment this campaign, and it's tough to pick a team.
Did the men's and women's, the single gender competition last year help with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the more single-sex games the women especially get to play, the better, because obviously they don't get as involved in the mixed game. The men take control in the middle, and they don't get that decision-making experience that they need. And I think that the single-sex permit competition was an excellent environment, and especially because we split into 3 teams as well. It gives that many more ladies the opportunity to play them middle positions and get that exposure.
We've got a ladies game going on in the background where they're playing some of the older men. Does that prepare you better than a ladies on ladies game?
It does to some extent. The men have got slightly stronger passing skills, so they can get the ball across the field a lot quicker, and that means that we've got to reposition ourselves in defence a lot better. They're generally a lot faster than we are, which means that we've got to get in position early and really test us in defence. So I quite like playing some of the men's teams. It gives us a really strong opposition of things that we don't see very often, and it gets them thinking about their positioning and the way that they've got to deal with that type of pace, which we'll come up against in competitions like the World Cup, when you've got Australia and New Zealand do a lot more athletic and quick goals. So we're going to have to chase them in the same way.
What are your expectations for July's tournament?
I'm looking forward to the tournament, to getting the team together and finally getting it back out on the pitch, because I've obviously not been a coach at the Hornets, so it'll be good to get the team back there. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're in a strong position. We've got a lot of players who have really improved this year, so yeah, I think we're going to go well and hopefully put out a marker for the World Cup.
The boys have been very positive and committed, and that's, as a coach, very rewarding to see, and I feel as if that's a product of the numbers we have, and we are able to make selection a competition, which we haven't been able to do in the past, because we've had limited athletes, and the athletes have sort of self-elected themselves by being good athletes, but now we've got developed touch-made players as products coming out of our player development pathways, clubs and regions through to the national squads. So it is a competition. For different players, it will have different levels of priorities depending upon their own attributes, depending upon their position or role within the team. So it's always a complex decision making.
So let's believe, yeah? They believe we can do it. So let's believe we can do it.
Quick turnaround of ends, and we are ready for the second half of this Elite Cup Final 2018 in Birmingham. And it's the Bareback Riders, as you can see, leading 10-7, but they're against a relentless Cambridge side who are tenacious, and they are making sure they're not rolling over and having their tummies tickled in this one. And already they're on the forward push. A bit of a stray pass. Hands possession back over to their rivals in red.
Yeah, a high-scoring first half by both teams. They've both scored far more than I have this year. And I think the standouts so far have been number 50, Samuel Misson from Cambridge, Tamara Slater, the number 5, the female link, and from BBR, Louis Trays is just all over the park, and Zoe Eaton has had an incredible game so far on the wing. So plenty to look out for in the second half.
Definitely. Now, one word about the Cambridge team as well. A lot of them are getting field time here. They're not really changing the central pot too much, and that's credit to the stamina of those 4 predominantly involved in that. Working tirelessly, well aware it's the final game of the day. Final 20 minutes, they might as well give it all they've got. And they certainly have done so far in this match. Will it be in vain, though? There's the question. They're starting on the front foot.
In BBR, their fitness can never be questioned, but this Cambridge team with their youth, they are really running strongly. So we'll see whether they can grind BBR down a little bit in the second half. Such a high-scoring game. 17 touchdowns in the first half.
Would you argue that some of the teams, maybe like Cambridge, who coming into the first weekend in Nottingham were not so used to the 40-minute matches compared to maybe some of the Bareback Riders players, and the gap has now squeezed as the weekends have gone on, as teams have acclimatised to the form?
Yeah, I think most of the players playing here will play social touch during the week, and traditionally they will play 40-minute games, but it will be at a level of intensity that isn't reflective of, you know, what we see in weekends like this. So I think as the weekends have progressed and as Euros preparations has continued, I think the fitness level has definitely improved from the first weekend. Great midfield D by BBR. Cambridge a little bit lost on that set, but they're bringing it into the middle now. Going from half. Number 40,
Take him short side now while he
James Knopp, he's had a good game as well. Here he goes again. Great touch by Clark there.
Let's have it back there, let's have it back. If you can.
And here they go, driving to the sub-box. In the second half, I'm sure that we'll see them continue to drive to the sub-box as the legs get a bit tired. Each team has played 3 40-minute games today, so it's been a long day that started at 9 o'clock for a lot of teams. Great step there by Louis, and excellent touch by the Cambridge defender, James Knott. Hear the crowd react.
Loudest cheer of the game. And it's amazing that at this point in the first half, I think we've got 4 or 5 scores piling up.
I think you can definitely say, although everyone loves a bit of BBR, I think Cambridge being the underdogs, they've got a lot of crowd support this afternoon, which is great to see.
And the way they approach this final certainly endeared themselves to the crowd as well. Both teams running out of touches quite a lot.
Can we make sure
the second half?
Round to the
Yeah, I've got to say the handling skills in this game has been exceptional. There's been pretty rare drop ball or an error in play, so it's really gone from end to end, which is great to see at this level. Great yards here by the Red Nut, number 15, Joe Krieger from BBR.
It's almost like the Matrix as he got this far, and finally he's been stopped there by Benjamin Powell. Goodness me.
Ben Powell, the Ballina hero, coming in to make that touch. What a great passage of play by Joe there.
Dodging bullets left, right and centre, and he made up an awful amount of ground.
Yeah, Joe Krieger, he's playing with a lot of good players here, but he's not letting them overshadow him. He's been absolutely solid today for BBR. And great defence from the Cambridge winger there. Every time Cambridge can hold BBR out their line, it's going to give them a huge amount of confidence, and I would not write them off at all.
And look how they managed to initially there break out their own 10 as well, despite how high Clark Hobson and Co had pushed up there. They still managed to get through them, and in a position where it looks as if they were being squeezed to their own line. They've done really well to get over halfway.
Yeah, absolutely. They've still got another touch in here. This is fifth. This is going to be last. He scoops through. What a score. Hear the crowd. We're in a van here and I can hear them.
Come on, Cambridge!
Really, really loudly.
Come on!
Good crowd, the grandstand down here in Birmingham. That's Birmingham. Birmingham.
Work hard, Glenn, work hard!
Well, it's back to within 2. That was a really good point, that, working it from their own line.
Yeah, we've got Ryan Mimsek driving it in. Ali Hogg, the former England Mixed Open colleagues. Louis, he's like a little Energizer bunny, isn't he? He's involved in everything. Okay, quick play from Ali. Going for the outsides and excellent scrambling Cambridge defence there. They've got to keep on talking to each other, Cambridge. Bit of a hole opening up between those two mids, which Ryan has tried to exploit there and has definitely taken advantage of it. They've just possibly got to stay a little bit tighter between those two middle players. You could see the gap opening up here as BBR were driving in towards the line and the touching mid was cornering, and Ryan's just taken advantage of that. Louis in a great hole on his outside as well. 11-8.
Let's work, let's work! Go! Let's build it!
Key for Cambridge to sustain the pressure they started the second half with, but just 2 scores for either's team in the first 7 minutes of this second half.
Relax! That's it!
I have to say, in the 3 weekends that I've watched so far, Mel, I've not seen anyone attack BBR with this sort of intensity. It's almost as if there they go again with the score. It's almost as if they're going down a dark alleyway at 100 miles an hour and they don't care if they're about to get hit by anything. They just want to go for it.
Absolutely, and I think this was eventually called a touch pass, this play, and we can watch there Gareth Revel making the touch. As I said, those albatross-like wings making that touch, so very fortunate for BBR, because I think if Cambridge got that, we've definitely created some momentum, but they're definitely keeping their heads up, and I think BBR may start to panic a little bit here, because they haven't been put under this level of pressure at this stage of the final for a long time, I think we can say. So if Cambridge can just keep running, keep communicating, I think we could still have a really good game on our hands. Excellent shot by the winger from Cambridge, number 31, Lucy Norburn. Definite touchdown saving shot there. She's had a great game indeed, actually, Lucy on the far wing. And here they are, Cambridge, driving up towards the middle. Definitely making up some yards. He's got to lose the ball. He's currently half. That's a great driving pattern from Cambridge.
Work hard!
Seem like a very well-oiled machine right now. And you would not believe, as you were saying before, Mel, that there is a lack of experience, if you like it, in these players.
And we can just see you play the ball with hips not straight. And I think the fact that Cambridge have so many players under the age of 18, it says a lot for how we're starting to develop the youth in England. We've got the Junior Touch Championships at European level happening every couple of years now. They're happening again this year up in Stirling. So we can really see how developing the under-15s, the under-18s age group is really developing really high-quality touch players. And these Cambridge kids, they're mixing it with the best touch players in Europe at the moment. So they should be really proud of themselves.
Certainly Jules Risser Frenchman from Big Bang Europe, was very complimentary about England touch earlier on today and the development going on, and the English game in general.
Let's go, Luke! Let's go, buddy!
It's great that the youth of Cambridge here are getting this exposure as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Come junior Euros, and some of these youngsters are going to be in open size come the European Championship, so it's a great experience for them. This is ahead of the men's and women's touch series that we have coming up after this final of the mixed series. Unfortunate they're Cambridge, but I think it's a good call by the referee. They've still got plenty of time. They've just got to make sure that they don't lose their composure. And having young teams, sometimes composure can be an issue, but they've got loads of time left. 8.5 minutes. They're only 3 scores down. This is the closest that we've seen any team come close to BBR today.
You feel like patience is required, something that's not associated with youth, perhaps, but Cambridge have been more than a match for BBR so far. And the quality there beginning to come to the fore. It's the second that BBR have got in this half, and the lead is now 4.
Louis, great dummy. He's just got the speed on him. Great hands by Ali.
Unlucky, guys. We're just fucking quick. Unlucky.
But yeah, Cambridge can still definitely come back. They've obviously got a really fit team, and I mean, I struggle to remember the last time that BBR had more than 8 scores made against them this season. So let's see if they can pop another on the board. Tamara Slater, such a strong player in terms of the female link player, able to make really good strong dumps in the middle. I know we're just playing touch, but some of these touches are really quite hard, and to get the ball down as smoothly as she does takes so much skill and strength.
Well, there's no passengers in the Cambridge team, that's for sure. No one being towed along in this game. They're all making sure that they make their presence count. And you've got to, because PBR certainly will pick off any weaknesses that arise.
Yeah, and great defence by Cambridge. This is touch 2. It looks like they're going to give them in their own half the 3rd touch.
There's a danger here that Cambridge have lost their point-scoring potency, though. Still 1 to account for in the last 12.5 minutes. Almost a good reverse play.
Great D there, but it looks like they've been penalised for a hard touch on the line. And as we've said all day today, it's quite rare that BBR are gifted 6 more touches on the line and they don't get over. Especially with that player playing in the middle. Look at that step. Gosh.
Well, his studs, I think, tried to thwart him there as he slipped, but he still had enough to get over the line. It's like he's on a pogo stick. How does it go from side to side so quickly?
Oh, it's incredible.
Great agility.
I'll have to post something on his Facebook page tomorrow just to say, well done on a great games play. My Facebook friend number 723, Louis Trace.
So that's just as big an honour for him as scoring in this final.
This one's bigger. Okay, Cambridge. Attacking the line. They've got BBR in their 5 metres, so BBR have to keep on moving up off their line here. And great defence there by Clark. He's so fast to get back on his line and back up again that it really limits the scoring opportunities of any opposition. Gareth Rebel running like a gazelle across the field.
It's a sign of a good side, though, isn't it, though? BBR not usually put in this sort of position where they maybe have been on the back foot for quite a lot of the game, but now they seem to have got a lid on it and a grip of the situation, and now it's allowing their offensive players to come to the limelight.
Yeah, no, they definitely have responded to the pressure here. And the experience in their team is just insane.
It's exciting to see how this Cambridge team is going to develop, though. And reason for optimism. Twinway leaving the field.
We've got number 50 Samuel Masson's back on the field. And Ben Powell has so much experience, previously at men's open level, mixed open level. So it's great to have him on the field, and what Ben Powell does for development in his region, both for men's and women's touch, is just incredible, and I think he should be really proud to be playing the final today with this team. He told me he was only going to come on for 3 sets, but obviously he's had a change of heart. Big occasion, he wants to soak it in.
Absolutely, he's deserved it as well. No doubt staying is welcome. Busy day of officiating and playing for him.
Absolutely. Rare error from BBR there, putting the ball down. Great yards by Cambridge. 2 touches and they're over the halfway line, moving towards the middle here. You can see BBR backpedaling as Cambridge continue to attack these 2 mids. Great balls, but I think this is going to be called back here for a touch pass. I think one of those passes was a little bit late. Revel with the play of the ball. Clark Hobson out to Miriam on the wing.
Work for each other now. Work for each other. Okay, no more
You can hear the shouts on the near side there. Work for each other. The Cambridge coach is saying.
Oh, he's got a cracking goose step. Haven't seen that since David Campese, the vintage Australian rugby player.
Yes!
Just 3 minutes left in this match. BBR up by 5 touchdowns. They love to throw in a good step, BBR, don't they? They're quite light on their feet. We'll see whether we can persuade a few onto the dance floor later on. I'd like to see Louis Trace on the DF, actually. All right, Tamara Slater driving it up well.
But the style of Bareback Riders, though, it's a bit like sort of the Harlem Globetrotters of touch rugby, if that's such a thing. That flair they've got with the ball. Always exciting, unpredictable as well.
Yeah, and it comes from playing with each other for so long, just that familiarity and knowing where different people are. They do play a really free-flowing style of touch.
You feel like their personality comes through with the way that they play.
Yeah, absolutely. Gareth Revel, for example, can be quite grumpy, and I do think he plays a very grumpy style of touch, but Clark Hobson, classic good looks, classically great touch skills.
You make his head too big for that hat if you carry on with those compliments, mate. Well, it's interesting from what I've heard during the day, not just from players but officials as well, is that lack of awareness of sometimes the score, sometimes the clock. Ryan Mimsik says that he does wear a watch, which I think he's an exception in that. So game management maybe not as easy as it looks as if. Of course, we've got the luxury of seeing the clock on the screen, only 90 seconds to go. Cambridge know they're losing, and they know they've just got to go for it.
Yeah, and absolutely. Like, even the referees, when I referee a game, sometimes I'll think it's a potential drop-off when the actual score will be 12-1, but you just kind of lose awareness about what's happening out there. But I think BBR will be feeling pretty comfortable at the moment. But it's great to see that Cambridge haven't dropped their heads and they haven't lost intensity in the second half. So this is probably one of the best performances they've seen against BBR this season.
No, absolutely, no fault of their own that they trail by the margin they do.
And the last few seasons have been dominated by the likes of BBR, Wigan, Scorpion, so this could be the start of something big in terms of the Cambridge Touch Club.
Well, looks like they're going to lose by a score of 6. And unfortunately, their second half performance offensively has not quite replicated what they managed to yield in the first. Bareback Riders, a bit of a different animal, but pushed all the way in this. Cambridge have just come up short in the end. The Hornets have maybe lost their steam, but the Bareback Riders march on. 14-8 they win in the Elite Cup final here. And a really good display as well from both teams. I think Cambridge certainly have endeared themselves to the neutrals and maybe their opponents as well. Bareback Riders will have a lot of respect for the challenge they've been up against today at the end of a physically and mentally taxing performance. And Mel, how do you summarise that as Bareback Riders once again claim a title?
Yeah, their third straight NTS title and NTS series winners, and I think today's game demonstrates exactly why. Their team is chock full of class players, and you can't really speak highly enough of them. Yeah, they're strong absolutely across the park. You can see some good referee-player relations happening. We always like to see that, but yeah, what a game. BBR, they're just so strong. They should be really, really pleased with themselves. And I think a few of them are getting on the ledge tonight, and deservedly so. And great to see the two teams mixing here. I think Cambridge can really hold their heads up high, and having talked to Ben about the youth that they've got in their squad, I think it's incredible to see them punch out a performance like this for the last game of the series.
Well, this is lovely to see at the end of the game. Two teams that have really put a shift in there. It looks like it's Benjamin Powell who's leading the conversation in that.
PA today. We hope you had a good one. We look forward to seeing you at the next event.
Yep, smiles all around. And some great individual performances. I thought Tamara Slater from Cambridge had an exceptional game. I thought Samuel Misson and Ben Powell led the team really well. BBR, take your pick. Louis Trays, I think, incredible. Ryan and Clark. Gareth Revel with his specialist D, and Ali Hogg, who's been the best player consistently through the series.
And this goes up to all of you.
Well, Chris just lurking in there, trying to get us some post-match reaction. We will get that in a few moments' time as well. Of course, we will have the presentations to follow. And, of course, we thank Mel for quite a chunky time you've given us today on the live stream. So thank you for that. Some great insight and some slightly different comments as well that we've had on the microphone. It's been fantastic to be with you. We hope you've enjoyed the day as much as we have.
No worries, it's been fun. We can see the crowd streaming towards the bar. I'll be following them right now. Thanks, everyone.
Certainly, well, there we go. Mel Day, big thanks to her from London Galaxy, and also one of our officials over the course of this weekend, this tournament. Of course, just the one day today of action, and it's come to an end. It's the Bareback Riders that have won this by 14 points to 8 against Cambridge Hornets, who certainly gave it a right old go. And we will now be able to go to the pitch side very shortly indeed to see who Chris has got from the Bareback Riders, the victors today.
I've got Ryan Mimchik and Louis Tress from Bareback Riders, the victorious 3 from 3. Goes without saying, you must be delighted.
Pretty happy? Yeah, pretty happy with that.
Over the moon. Yeah, we had a really good NTS series together. I think we've won every one.
Lost one game.
Yeah, lost one game, so almost 100%. Yeah.
Is that the thing that's going to, you know, you've won all games by one. Is the one game going to really get under your skin, or are you just, is it going to haunt you?
I don't think we're too worried, as it was a pool game. I mean, we lost there, we just went straight back to process. And, and we beat them then after, so, I mean, they gave us a great game in that first game. The game that we lost. So, I don't think we were too down about it.
No, it's been a great season. The competition is rising every year we play. BBR now have been around since 2003. There's a little stat for you. And every year the competition has improved and improved and improved. And it's as a 30 plus coming through now. It's great to see the young kids up and running. There's a hell of a lot of them that Cambridge side, and yeah, fantastic for their experience and opportunity at international level as well. So yeah, really happy with that. There's a young lad just to your left, obviously. Yeah, his dancing feet. Would you rather go back 10 years and nick his ankles and feet off him? I'd like to say that I had those feet 10 years ago, but I'd be lying. No, it's got great feet. It feels like a really romantic moment, but Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's just great to play alongside people, and yeah, we have a good rapport on the pitch, I think.
Yeah.
Bit of chat.
Yeah. Louis, what's it like to have an old fella like Ryan alongside you then?
Correct him about old.
Oh, young. 28?
28 is the age, yeah, that's what we're going now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. At one point, I think I wanted a county. I was going, county! And he went, no, come to me! We ran quickies and he scored, so he told me, really, so just extra experience. He knows the game better than me.
By the way, we'll put subtitles on for people who don't understand touch terminology with that one. The guys who, we were talking to Alison Hogg earlier on and saying, is there added pressure going into a final when you know that a game like this, you win the overall thing, and if you lose, then you don't after having been so dominant? Was there pressure going into the final, especially because Cambridge, as you say, had a great game?
I think the entire setup's quite interesting to go into a one-day tournament having played 2 days, and know that it's all or nothing. You lose that first game at 9 a.m. when you've travelled and all that sort of stuff. The pressure is on from 2 weeks before when you're thinking about it. So it's, I don't think it was specifically the final, but just the entire day.
And as far as the series is concerned overall, I mean, you guys just seem, obviously you played 3 40-minute games, so you're going to be tired, it's a warm day, but you guys seem very calm and very relaxed about it. Why is that, Louis?
I think it's just come from experience, and there are key role models in the team that try and calm everyone down. So the likes of Ali, she's a brilliant leader, Clarkey as well, Gareth, and also Mark Knight as well. Just the experienced people. They've been on the touch scene since forever, really. I think 2006. Sorry, I'm a youngster.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, absolutely. Having the girls that we have makes such a difference. Having that composure on the ball that Ali has and that Zoe has, their decision making out wide saves us.
It's not just those two. I think all our girls were. I know you meant it, but all our girls at BBL were exceptional. I don't think they did one thing wrong, to be honest. The whole tournament, it's all just been. If they've scored, it's probably been our fault, I suppose. I think it's fair.
Yeah,
it's fair.
It's fair comment.
Yeah. So just before we go, after party, and you're going to get a trophy. So what's the alcoholic drink of choice, Ryan?
Ooh, I think we've got a bottle hidden down there in the sub box for us to go and shake up a little bit. So we'll start there and see where the night takes us.
And for the non-alcoholic?
I'm 18. I'm an alcoholic. Oh no!
And that's a suitable place to finish. So guys, thanks very much. Congratulations. We'll see you for the presentation later on.
No,
Thank you very much.
cut. Wow, thank you.